Hello, hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome to the intuitive card reading for the week of September 22nd through 28th, the last full weekend of September. And this past weekend, you guys will be seeing this on Monday. This past weekend, we had a lot of, I think it's the end of the solar eclipse in Virgo, or the beginning of it, something along those lines. But it is tied to major endings, so I'm really excited to see if this reading has like a lot of 9 energy, which usually links to things that are ending, letting go, surrender, that kind of thing. So I'm wondering if those are some themes we got going on. So just saying that before I go ahead and do the reading. I also want to say, please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already subscribed. Please share this video with anybody that needs to hear the energies and the influences of the week. And what else? Comments down below. I really appreciate comments. Would love to know how it resonates. If you have any comments of any kind, feedback, that kind of thing, those are always welcomed as well. I just ask that you be kind. Same 3 decks as I usually use, shuffled of course. I think it's in a different order, not sure, but you guys know I read intuitively. I like this order. So let's just jump right into it, okay? All right, what do we need? Time for a nap. We need a nap. We need a break. That's what that means, basically. Pretty straightforward. We need a timeout. Not a bad week for a vacation. Not a bad week for a day off. Even take half the day off if you can't, if you can't take a full day off. Maybe you do one day where you don't schedule something, but we definitely need a break and we definitely need to nap. And this could also mean we need sleep. Okay, so make sure that your schedule is not as packed this week. Okay, usually the first card out, it really kind of gives like the tone of the week. So I will say this, don't overschedule yourself. Don't pack every inch of your time with something to do, okay? Because it definitely feels like we're moving with like maybe like a slower type energy. So, or at least we need it, right? Because it's under need. All right, action needed. Don Juan, spotlight your positive seductive qualities. Oh, you're attractive. You're magnetic. People are noticing you. You need to be and this is action needed. So you need to be in the spotlight. You need to be seen. This is definitely a card of being seen for sure. This could mean in the romantic sense. This could mean, this could be spirit saying like, hey, you need to get back out there. Or just, it might be organically where, maybe for whatever reason, maybe you've been working on yourself. Maybe you've been working on your self-worth. Maybe you've actually been working on your physical appearance, okay? But you need to kind of like step out into the world because you need to be seen in order for people to be attracted to, magnetic towards you. And again, yes, it could be romantic, but it could be other things, right? Maybe you are maybe you're in sales and trying to sell a product. You have, like, basically it's saying like you need to be in places where people can see you. Maybe you need to try to network more, or being in different spaces or something along those lines. But it's basically saying like you need to be seen now. That's really what it's saying. It's saying you need to be seen. You need to go out into the world, okay? Maybe you have been in a hermit, right? I know we have some hermit cards, I think, in each of these decks. So I wonder if those will come up. Maybe it'll come up under issue and challenge, because this is basically it's like the opposite of the hermit, right? It's saying like, go out there, be seductive, be attractive, be magnetic, do your thing, be seen, period, right? I like that. No more hiding this week is basically what Spirit is saying. All right, issue, heart guardian, love and let yourself be loved. Okay, so this is about letting people in. This is about loving yourself. This is about loving other people, the opening of the heart chakra. So we're having issues in this area. I know on a more current events, political type scale, we've all been at each other's throats. These last couple of weeks have been kind of crazy. You guys just try to be as kind as possible, and I'm talking to myself as well. I know how we can get very riled up. Doesn't matter where you stand on what issue. The issue is that we have to be a little bit more loving. We have to be a little bit more kind. And I know it's hard. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know. You're talking to someone that's extremely righteous. I know. It's extremely hard. But love thy neighbor, okay? Love yourself. So yeah, this could be like Spirit asking us to love ourselves a little bit more. And it's under issue saying, so it's saying we're having issues with that. You could be beating yourself up this week a lot. You could be extremely critical of yourself. And so Spirit is just reminding you that you really need to, be a little bit more loving to yourself, a little bit more compassionate to yourself, that kind of thing. So yourself and other people, okay? It's a good message in general, but sometimes we have issues with it. It's all right, Challenge building blocks. Okay, so this is about creating something new, building something new. So we're having challenges doing that. So this is interesting because I mentioned in the beginning of the reading, we're kind of closing things out. Building blocks is kind of the opposite of that. It would be more like one energy, which is like new beginnings. Isn't this interesting? 28, 8 plus 2 is 10, 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, so this does represent one energy, right? Building blocks, so that makes sense. So it's basically saying we're having issues starting something new. We're having issues building something from the ground up. We're having issues with beginning again. So that means that we're not quite there, okay? Or we're, maybe we're not feeling ready. Okay, that could mean that for sure under challenge. But maybe it's more tangible in the way of like, it's really a timing issue. Okay, maybe you are building your dream house from scratch and some of the materials got delayed this week or something like that. I'm just throwing things out there for metaphors. You guys know I try to do that as much as I can. They're not always good. They're not always good. But this is saying like there just might be a delay in building something new. Or, I know we're not done with the reading. I think maybe we could see some more endings. Maybe we haven't said goodbye to something. That's why something can't begin, right? Maybe we haven't closed up whatever, we need to tie up, before we do the new beginning. But definitely does feel like there is some delays. There's some blockages in creating something new or doing something new. Or I always say the building blocks is usually, it also means like entrepreneurship. So this goes especially to people that are more freelance or doing their own thing, solopreneur, entrepreneur types. You might have a delay in maybe getting paid or starting a new I don't know, maybe you have a brick and mortar store and you're rebuilding your brand, okay, and you wanted to kind of start it this week and something is delayed there. I don't know, something along those lines, okay? So definitely I feel like this is double if you're an entrepreneur. So shout out to everybody with delays. I know it's super annoying. I feel like I've been delayed for a long time. Man, have I cultivated a lot of patience. But yeah, this looks like it requires patience for sure. But whatever's stopping us from the new beginning, it's challenging. Let's put it that way. All right, what's actually changing? Artists, okay, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Okay, your artistry, your inspirational side is definitely coming out. Your artist side is coming out. Your creativity is coming out. So that's really good. So if you've been feeling, this is especially for artists, I just talked about entrepreneurs. I feel like you can be an artist entrepreneur. They kind of blend together, can blend together for sure. But if you've been feeling like you have been stifled in a creative project, if you feel like you've had writer's block or something like that, I definitely do feel like this is opening up more creativity and we're opening up more to our creative side. So this could also mean like other ideas, right? This is definitely part of like the innovation thing. Like maybe you had one idea for something and all of a sudden this week you have like a new idea. You scratch the old idea and come up with like a brand new idea that maybe something you haven't thought of before. So this could also be like your thoughts are changing, like you have another idea. Especially for those that it feels like you've been clinging to an idea or set on something. But this is basically saying like, no, like just a random revelation, download, whatever you want to say, pops into your head, whether it's from spirit, whether it's from your creative mind, whatever, however you want to look at it, higher self, whatever, it just kind of pops up and kind of changes the game. So that's really great. Okay. I also want to say for people out there that I used to have a friend that said, she always used to say to me, if I could just have that one great idea that makes me, a millionaire. I have the drive for it. I have the entrepreneurial spirit. I have the risk taking. I have all of those things. But if I just had one idea, that's the kind of energy that this card is giving me. This would be like the week that they had the great idea. Okay, so it's kind of big in a way. So I love that. We're definitely getting more innovative and artistic, creative, and inspiring too. So I love that. Very cool. All right, focus. What's our priority? It is release the old and rest. Oh, shocking. Right underneath the time for a nap as well. I'm not shocked. That was sarcasm. This is saying release the old and rest. First of all, release the old. So we've got, that could definitely constitute into release, surrender, letting things go for sure, and then rest. Okay, so prioritize on letting things go that you can't control, letting things go that don't serve you, and definitely taking a nap, taking a rest. Guys, it's pretty clear there. There's not too much more I can say. All right, what do we need to reflect on? No place like home. Okay, so this card always could mean nostalgia, could mean going back home, could be what do you feel, since it's under reflect, it's a little bit more introspective. So it could be something along the lines of like, where do you feel most at home? Maybe you've moved 5 times in the last 2 years and Spirit is asking you to really think about and contemplate on why you moved so much. What kind of place would really make you stay? What kind of community or, location that you're looking for that would fulfill you the most? Things along those lines. Maybe you're reflecting on moving back home. Okay? Maybe you're reflecting on your relationship, and maybe you're in a close relationship where you feel your partner feels like home. Maybe it's a person. Okay? Maybe you're trying to manifest a partner and you're saying, well, what makes me feel at home? What makes me feel safe? Okay, all of those things can be what's what I'm looking for, can be included under this type of energy. So I love that. Definitely reflect on your location, geography, and maybe some of you will come to the conclusion that you need to move or something along those lines. So, I wouldn't be shocked if that was the revelation there. All right, responsibilities, divine child, innocence, purity, and redemption, special connection. Okay, so this is about being innocent. This is about, kind of like having like a clean slate at the same time. This is about, I don't want to say purity, almost like having fun without all the noise, maybe is a good way to say it. The best way I can say it is like, it's almost like, God, why am I having trouble with this? Connecting with your inner child, for sure. So it's under responsibility. So it's saying like tap into that, for sure. So something maybe that made you feel really great, like as a child, maybe definitely responsibilities is saying like, make sure you are on top of this, make sure you actually get this done. So maybe you actually do something for that. Maybe when you were a kid, you loved going to circus, and the circus is coming to town this week, and you're wondering if you get tickets. Hello, validation right there. Okay, so it's basically when you're purchasing the tickets, you can say, Spirit told me it's my responsibility to go to this event. Okay, so I joke, of course, but it's kind of like that. It's saying like, make sure you make room for the inner child this week. However that manifests for you, however that looks for you. So definitely fit that in. Money and finances, what do we got going on? Winter, take care of your needs. Okay, so basically it's saying like, take care of yourself. This is the time to worry about yourself. This is the time to get what you need. So it's money, finances, and career. Okay, so this means don't worry about other people. Okay, this is clearly saying like, you need to focus on you and your bag. It's basically, Spirit didn't tell me to say that, but it kind of feels that way, right? It's saying like, focus on your money. Focus on your money. So this is especially if you have been loaning somebody money. This is I know maybe somebody out there maybe needs to hear this. You do not need to loan any more money, okay, out to somebody. Okay, I feel like somebody needs to hear that, so that's why I'm saying that. But that's the energy. It's kind of saying, like, focus on you. Focus on you and your family. Focus on what you need to survive. Okay? Focus on what you need to get a promotion. Focus on what you need to make your goals. Okay, so this is under money, finances, and career. Yes, it might sound a little cutthroat, but usually when stuff like this happens, it's because we've been kind of going on the opposite end. There's an imbalance somewhere. Like, again, loaning people money, or not putting money, career as a focus in your life, right? I know it's not under focus, but it is here. Okay? So yeah, it's definitely time to, like, what do you want? That's what Spirit is saying. What do you want? Do you want a different job? Do you want to get ahead at work? Okay? So I love that. This is basically saying, like, you're finally be able to be selfish, quote unquote, right? I don't really like the word selfish. I like self-serving. This is not about being self-serving. This is about taking care of your own needs, okay? All right, surprise. Time to go. Ding, 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 ding. Here we go. We had release the old, so we had some energies of letting go, okay, letting the leaves fall in autumn, right? And now we have time to go, which is basically saying, like, it's kind of time to go with something. So it's under surprise, which is interesting, because basically it's most likely going to come out of the blue. Okay, so this might be shocking for some people, because maybe you're listening to this at the beginning of the week and you're saying, there's not really much I have to let go of. I don't really see anything ending. I don't know. There's supposed to be, like, this big astrological event. I just don't feel it. Surprise. That's all I have to say. I don't know what it is. It's different for everybody. This is a reading for the collective, but there is something that's leaving your life, whether you planned it or not. Let's put it that way. Don't mean to scare anybody, but I will say it's in a positive way, even if it's painful at first. That's all I'm going to say on that. Friends, we have Shadow Slave, giving your willpower to an external authority out of fear of making your own choices. Okay, so this is about having other people make our own choices. All right, it's under friends, okay? I laugh because it's kind of bouncing off that winter energy a little bit, because it's saying you got to be selfish in your money, finances, and career, and you got to be focused on you, and you got to be focused on what you want in your friends group, right? Not having other people. You have to learn to trust yourself. Not like it feels like you might be part of, like, a community and other people are making decisions for you. No, we're not doing that anymore. That's what it's saying here. It's saying you need to make your own decisions. What do you want? You need to take control of your own life. What do you desire? What do you need? You know, different things like that. So this is basically saying you might be breaking away. There might be a group or a friend that you're more enmeshment with, that you have, like, more of, like, an enmeshment with, and you got to break away. That's what Spirit is saying here. I mean, there's not too much more I could say here. Romantic connection. We have Star Ancestor, follow the voice of your soul. So this means, are you listening? This honestly kind of has similar energy. It's basically saying you need to start listening to what your soul wants. You need to start listening to your own desires, needs, wants, okay? Guys, this is similar energy here in all the three basic categories: friends, romantic connections, money, finances, and career, okay? So it's basically saying you need to follow what you need, follow what you desire in your romantic connections. So if you're in a romantic partnership and you want more affection, and you've been kind of thinking about it but not voicing it, not communicating it, now is the time to do so, for sure. That is your confirmation right here. You know, it's also about being honest, like, following the voice of your soul is being honest with yourself and listening to your intuition, because intuition is the voice of the soul. Okay? So, yeah, this does require radical honesty about what you actually want. Okay? Woo! Pretty heavy stuff, huh? All right, what's important? Peace. Okay, peace is important. Yes, it is. I would say that that's very similar to what's going on up here, issue. You know, opening our hearts, maybe to people that don't agree with us, or people that are unpleasant to work with, or, you know, that kind of thing. This is saying, you know, protect your peace. Doesn't say, you know, shut up and be quiet to, you know, not speaking up for yourself. It's not what that means. It means you really need to put your peace as a priority, and it's important that you do so. I like that. Peace, calm, you know, keeping your energy peaceful, keeping your energy calm. I like it. Health and wellness. Oh, bully in the shadow. Ooh, okay. Not great for health and wellness. Being bullied into something in the health and wellness space. Being bullied to do something. Being bullied to not do something. What works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another. And I feel like somebody needs to hear that because that's kind of the message here. So I always kind of use like a weight loss journey here as an example. So maybe somebody is bullying you into, you know, maybe you are going on a GLP-1 or something, and somebody is bullying you into saying that, like, that's the easy way out, that's not the way to do it, you're cheating, whatever people say, okay? When you intuitively know it's the right path for you, you talk to your own doctor, you use your own discernment, you did your own research, it's something that you want to go forward with. Don't let people bully you out of it. Okay, so lots of bullying in this area. I don't love it. Definitely would consider this like a red flag. So far, everything looks really good. So far, I would flag this one here, but because I don't love it. I don't love bullies, and everybody's health and wellness is their own personal journey, and what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another, and I think that's really important to keep in mind for this week. Do not be bullied into something that you do not want to do, or bullied out of something that you do want to do. And overall outcome, we have stag, trust, and thrive. Okay, so this is about trusting and going forward, and thriving, obviously. So this is a great thing to end with. Not exactly the type of energy I was like expected to get for an overall outcome, but it's basically saying like, trust that it'll all work out and you'll thrive going forward. And I think that's like a positive thing, but like I said in the beginning of the reading, I definitely felt like there would be more like hard stop, full stop, you know, endings type energy. But we did get some, you know, here and there, time to go, release the old, that kind of thing. And then a little bit of a delay in the in the a challenge and a delay in the building blocks, you know, building something, creating something, that kind of thing. But this is, you know, it's a good one to, it's all right. It's just kind of saying like, trust and go forward and you'll thrive. Like, it's just kind of like, it is what it is type of energy. So not bad, not good, not positive, not negative, just it is what it is, neutral. Okay, like I said, red flag right here. Love the rest of the reading. I think it looks good. Yeah. There's not too much more I can say here. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. I hope it resonates with you. Don't forget to put comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget, it's coming to the end of September, so October monthly will be out soon. All right, bye guys.